Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Advice with Mike. I'm your host, comedian Mike Murphy. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. This is a show where you guys send in your messiest, toxic, most out-of-pocket predicaments, and I attempt to break them down, giving my honest and unbiased feedback. Now listen, I'm a comedian, not a therapist, so ain't no guarantee I'll be able to help fix your life, but I can provide laughter along the way and call it like I see it. So without any further ado, let's get into the episode. With a boyfriend like this, who needs enemies? So I just found out my boyfriend been talking to an old friend. Define friend. Someone who straight up hates me. Doesn't sound like any kind of friend I know. Not that we don't vibe hate. I mean, openly doesn't like me. Talks trash, makes it known. When I called him out on it, he brushed it off and said he's only doing it to keep the peace and avoid drama. Like this video if you think he's full of shit. That don't sit right with me at all, because if someone is comfortable enough disrespecting me, why are you comfortable entertaining them? That's because he's soft as drugstore cotton, and I know pythons with more backbone than him. To me, that feels shady and disloyal. Like you're choosing comfort over having my back. He swears I'm blowing it out of proportion and making something out of nothing. Nah, he chose a side, and I'll tell him to stay over there. So am I tripping, or is it valid to feel betrayed when your partner stays cool with someone who doesn't respect you at all? All right, I got some questions. I'm not really sure when you said he's talking to an old friend. Is it one of your old friends, or is it an old friend of his, meaning like a friend from way back in the day, maybe before he met you? Because then that changes the dynamic totally differently. It's not the same. So I'll give you feedback on both scenarios. If this was your old friend, y'all fell out or whatever, but somehow he was cool with her while y'all were friends, and y'all fell out and he still talks to her, he's absolutely wrong, 100%. He need to cut her off immediately. I'm gonna tell you like this. If I'm cool with, let's say I'm cool with Dave, and then through Dave, I meet Kevin. If Kevin and Dave fall out, I'm not cool with, I forget the names. I'm not cool with the person that I got introduced to through my friend. It's just not happening. Once they fall out, I'm probably gonna fall out with you because I only know you because of them. Now, there are some circumstances where I might stay cool with that person, whatever. It's like, oh, I'm not involved with that. But most of the time, I'm cool with you, and then you introduce me to somebody and y'all fall out, I'm not cool with that person. That's just how I rock. And again, that's not black and white every situation, but that's the guideline I like to follow. So if he met the girl through you, got cool, hey sis, one of them joints, y'all fall out, now she hates you, she's talking about you, all that, there's no reason to even be talking to her at all. The moment you came in the house like, babe, guess what? Keisha did da-da-da. Ah, F Keisha. That's how it should have been. He should have been rocking with you from no questions asked. Publicly, privately, he's rocking with wifey. We not banging with Keisha no more, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got a couple of sisters that like put in that work. I'll send them down there to rock Keisha jaw if you want, babe. Because it's me and you against the world. We Bonnie and Clyde. But he talking about something, he's trying to keep the peace and whatever. That sounds crazy if that's the case. So if that's the situation, you might not want to be with him anymore. Because I don't see how you could lay next to somebody who's that devil, that, you know, devious and devilish that will do that something behind your back. I couldn't be with someone like that. I just couldn't. I could not continue to cohabitate or function in the same world as a person who's willingly putting my feelings to the side, and we're in the relationship together to be cool with someone to avoid drama. Because now what he's saying is your feelings, his unity and allegiance to you, his alliance to you is less important than I just don't want to deal with what she's going to say about why I can't be friends with her no more. So he's more worried about what she'll say than how you'll feel. That's a red flag. Can't do that. You got to be out of there. Now, if that's his homie from way back, they've been friends since they was kids or whatever, and for whatever reason, y'all don't like each other, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you told on him to his shorty that you saw him out with a joint or something like that, or maybe you told your friend, your boyfriend, I don't like your friend Keith, he a hater, he always come around, his feet stink, whatever, I don't know. But whatever, you know, the rubber met the road and y'all hate each other now. You can't expect him to cut him off. I'm gonna tell you right now, that been his boy before you, and if, you know, God forbid anything happens and you ain't there with him no more, that's still going to be his boy. So that just got to be a relationship. You might say, yo, I don't want him over the house like that or whatever, or if y'all gonna be at the crib, be in the basement or whatever, but as long as he ain't ever violate you, super disrespectful to you, you know what I'm saying? And the trash talking could be a couple things. Your version of trash talking might be different than what guys might look at it. He might just be like, yo, your girl a hater, man. Like, I hate being around her. She get on my nerves. That's trash talk. But that's not a reason for him to be like, yo, don't disrespect my girl. You can't come to the house. Because you're talking about him too. The friend is just in the middle getting, catching the strays. Yeah, y'all in a relationship, that's still his boy. So he just trying to like stay out of it. Like, yo, you don't talk about her, you know what I mean? Whatever. Now, if he's like, yeah, your girl a smut, your girl, then that's different. That's a different level. And now we got to have some conversations. We got to be like, yo, bro, you my man and all that, 100 grand. You ain't going to keep talking about wifey like that. Not in front of me, not to nobody else, none of that. You can have your feelings about her, cool. Keep them to yourself. If you respect me and respect this friendship, keep those to yourself. Because those aren't like harmless little jabs. That's plain disrespect. But you can't be mad that he's still being friends with you because you don't like him, if that's the situation. So I gave you both perspectives. If it's a guy that's his friend, you gotta sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? If it's a guy or girlfriend that he met through you, he gotta sit this one out. He's wrong. So do with that information as you will. And I hope it works out for you, but stay alert, stay alive. My daughter's grown, but she somehow thinks her bills are my responsibility, so I cut her off. All right, Mike, so look, my daughter is grown, right? Like fully grown, has a job, adult age. What's her Instagram? Nah, it's for market research purposes and whatnot. But she still moves like she's 16. Disregard the Instagram. She sleeps in all the time and calls off often, but she don't care because her bills get paid because I've been covering them. I mean, she figures if it ain't broke, why fix it? I got tired of it and I told her straight up, listen, I'm not paying for your life anymore. You figure it out. Like this video if you think he's full of shit. Now everybody in the family is acting like I tossed her into the street with nothing. Maybe that's what she needs to teach her a lesson. I'm getting called cold, selfish. They even keep saying, well, that's your daughter. How could you act like that towards her? I would have said, yo, it's way easier than you think. You should try it. Honestly, I don't even feel that bad. I feel annoyed and I also feel played. Like, as long as I keep paying, there's zero reason for her to grow up. I'm sure you do feel bad, so knock off the tough guy act. I'm not trying to be parent of the year. I'm just tired of funding her laziness, but now I'm wondering, am I actually wrong, or is everyone just mad because I finally shut the money off? It's probably the latter. At what point is helping just keeping someone weak on purpose? Your daughter sound like my little brother. He 29 years old, and he depend on everybody else to pay his bills but him. Now, he's not as bad as he used to be, but he definitely was like that, like all the way up until like 27. He'd do whatever he wanted with his money, then go to my dad, like, oh, I need this, I need that. Go to my mom. So I already know how you feel. I empathize with you immediately because I know how that looks. What happens is you grew up probably not having much. So you like, yo, I ain't gonna let my kids be like that. So now you busting your ass, working hard, you making good money, and you see your kid need a little help. So you help. But then that breeds entitlement. So like we be wishing our kids they had to struggle like us, but then we also wish they had the same resiliency as us, and you can't have both. Very few times, it's very far and few between where, very few and far between the time where you can have a kid that's resilient, knows how to get it, knows how to hustle, ambitious, all that, and still you help them and they don't have to grow up struggling. Because the struggle is what produces the resiliency. Anything easy ain't, you know what I'm saying, don't produce any type of resistance. So it's like you get one generation that has it like hell. They got it rough. They create a soft generation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they say hard times create strong, men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And it's a cycle. That's just what happens. So it's like your kids, they'll grow up making it super easy. They won't have no drive, no grit, none of that. So their kids will struggle. And their kids will do the same thing you're doing. It's just a cycle. So no, you're not wrong for cutting them off. I don't care what your family says. They ain't got to do. Tell them, hey, you pay the bills then. If you feel like it's, you pay the bills. Shorty in my crib eating all the food, laying around, calling off, watching TikTok. Nah, get your ass up. You pay her bills if that's how you feel. Don't let nobody try to manipulate you into feeling like you wrong because you doing her more of a disservice than you are helping her, because as long as she knows she got you, like you said, ain't no incentive to do better, to work harder, to become a better person, to build her work ethic. None of that is important as long as she knows she can call you. That was a video I just did recently where the dude said like his homeboy be spending his money on the things that he wants, but then asking him to bail him out for the things he needs. That's what your daughter's doing. I bet she got money for the things that she wants, When it's time to pay that phone bill, that car insurance, whatever, Mom, can you help? Nah, get out my face. You didn't even kick her out. You just said I'm not paying your bills no more. So nah, I think you did the right thing. I salute you. I hope that all works out. I hope she gets it together. But you're doing the right thing. You're not wrong. Keep it up. Put your foot down. Stand on business, or otherwise you're gonna be her ATM for life. Stay alert. Stay alive. My ex keeps using my name for clout, but she's also ruining my reputation. So here's the situation, Mike. I got some real pull in my city and a solid reputation. Like this video if you think he's full of shit. People know my name and they know how I move, and that actually means something. Nah, sound like you trying to stuff 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. Me and my ex been done for a while, but she refuses to let that connection go because it benefits her. Shorty be name dropping for the perks. That's nasty work. She's been using my name as a reference to get favors, opportunities, and preferential treatment like I'm co-signing her. All right, so what's the issue, my man? The problem is she don't have the best reputation. She moves shady, burns bridges, and does questionable stuff. She one of them bummy broads with a bad rap, and now she got you mixed up in her mess. And every time she does it, it circles right back to me because she used my name to get in the door. Now people are hitting me up asking if I'm involved or if I put her in a position, and I didn't. Scam likely. When I confronted her, she basically asked me to let it rock so she don't look bad. She wants me to play along and keep quiet, even though her mess is starting to stain my name. I'm done being associated with it. I don't want drama, but I also don't want my reputation taking hits for someone I'm not even dealing with anymore. Am I wrong for wanting to shut it all the way down, even if it embarrasses her and exposes her? Let me know what you think. Initially, I was about to say, why are you even writing me? You know what to do. But then I started thinking about it like, let me see. He writing this letter for a reason. I don't want to think he's dumb or don't have common sense. So maybe I'm missing something in what he's saying. So I thought about the whole thing and was like, all right, shorty going around saying, oh, yeah, you know, I mess with so-and-so, or, you know, yeah, I'm with him, saying stuff like that, right? I get it. She getting into places or whatever. Maybe she used your name to get into a VIP spot. Then she started a fight or she don't pay a tab. They're like, yo, we let her in because she said she was with you. You're like, oh yeah, my bad. Now you got a mess on your hands, right? You're like, yo, should I cut her off? And you know, even if it embarrasses her or exposes her, ultimately, yes. But how you go about doing that, that's the tricky part, because you can't go on social media and be looking sassy like, hey, everybody, so-and-so's not with me anymore. If she comes to you, you can't really do that. And I don't know what lane you're in the city, like how you moving or how she's using your name to position herself in these places or whatever. So maybe what you do, now this might be a bad idea. Again, I'm a comedian, not a therapist, but maybe what you do is, if you got a social media following in the who's, you know what I'm saying, and the know all be alls, you know what I'm saying, they see that, maybe you post something subliminal. Like, yeah, you know, being single for the first time in a while feels good, and I can move the way I want, something like that. Or maybe you post a picture with a joint where y'all look way too friendly that they would know, oh, he must not be with Carolyn no more. Damn, when he get with this, you know what I'm saying? You just do something like that to make them raise their eyebrows. You do something on a slide. Like I said, most likely, your best bet is gonna most likely be to post a, damn, being single's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, bigger and better things, something like that, where you basically telling the world, I'm not with her no more, but I ain't coming to make no PSA like, hey, is this thing on? Everybody listen, I ain't with so-and-so no more, so if she comes to you, because then you look like a girl, you look crazy. Then she gonna make a video like, what is he even talking about? Like, no one's even thinking about him. Now you look retarded, you know what I'm saying? Can't do that. So just drop the little subliminal single joint on your story or on your profile, whatever, something like that. Maybe you do it a couple times. You see a reel that resonates with you. Don't it feel good to have that toxicity out of your life? You just post it. You ain't tagging her. You ain't calling her out. You doing the subtle. And now people seeing it. So now she pull up, I'm with Keith. No, you not. Keith's single. I seen him with a dip the other day. You know what I'm saying? He said you was toxic. Nah, I can't let you in. Or, yeah, you could do that, but it ain't on his tab. Whatever the case may be. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how she's using your name for preferential treatment or whatever, or opportunities or whatnot. I don't know exactly what that means. He was kind of vague in that, but I would just post something like that, you know what I'm saying, a little subtle drop, and let them know I ain't with her no more. And then if somebody calls you, yo, so-and-so down here, she said, yeah, nah, bro, if you let her in, that's on you. Or if you want to do that, that's between y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with me, though. Me and her ain't really, you know what I'm saying, we ain't together no more, but she's an adult, you an adult, you can make whatever choice you want, but it don't include me. Because then at that point, they might be like, he not willing to vouch. He don't want this blowing back on him. Pause. That was crazy. So maybe we need to look in her a little bit, you know what I'm saying? See if this is an opportunity we want to explore, because maybe she bad for business. That's just how you would do it. That's my advice to you based on the limited information that I had. But stay alert, stay alive, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of Advice with Mike. I'm your host, comedian Mike Murphy. I hope you guys enjoyed me as much as I enjoyed you. And if so, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Matter of fact, leave me a comment, let me know what advice you would have gave them. And who knows, maybe you got your own toxic tale to tell about a shady friend or an entanglement you need help untangling. If so, feel free to drop me a letter at the email provided below, and I'll make sure to read it in a future segment of Advice with Mike. Now, with that being said, our time together has come to an end. But just remember, stay alert, stay alive.